Alright, hey everybody, welcome back to the Part-Time Homestead. So, I want to show you guys today 2 hoop coops that I built. But the caveat is this. I filmed 12 hours of video. It took me 12 hours to build them both. Filmed everything, did it all by myself, put it together, edited it, and then in the process I deleted the video. And I even went as far as purchasing a recovery program and tried to use it, and it also didn't work. So what I'm going to do is the little video that probably about the last 30% of the construction of it I got, and I'm going to post that. I'm going to run that up there in the corner simultaneously with this video, and I'm just going to give you a walkthrough of what I did. So there they are, the 2 hoop coops. One man, 12 hours, 2 coops. And believe me, I did do it all by myself in 12 hours. But not in 1 day or 2 days, probably about over a month period, but I filmed every single step. So let me walk you through these and basically show you and explain to you things that you are gonna miss because, of course, like an idiot, I deleted the video. So let's go. All right, so I've already got my turkeys in this cage. So let's go on over to this one. We'll take a look at this one so we can talk about it. So with these hoop coops, the first thing that you're going to need to get is these cattle panels. These cattle panels right here. So these are 7 foot wide by 12 foot front to back. 7 foot wide because it's kind of like the sweet spot. Any shorter, so if you look, I'm about 6 foot tall, so you got a couple inches of clearance. If I was to go wider than 7 foot, it would bring the height down. If you go closer than 7 foot, it kind of bends a little bit awkwardly. 7 foot is kind of like the sweet spot, so just so you know. And then 12 feet long, it's a pretty decent length, and that comes out to 3 cattle panels. So for the 2 coops, you need 6 cattle panels. Cattle panels are approximately $25 a piece where you're at. Do the math. 150 bucks for the cattle panels. So you'll need that. You'll need chicken wire, of course. I bought 6 foot chicken wire. You're gonna need 100 feet of 6 foot chicken wire to go over the top of both coops and do the 2 front panels. And then you're gonna need wood for the framing. So let's talk about the framing right now. So for the framing, you can use 2x4s. I used 2x6s. I wanted the additional support, and I wanted it to be kind of a, not that 2x4s won't work, I just wanted to go with 2x6. I also used treated lumber. As far as the price of the lumber, that is kind of hit and miss. Lumber is super expensive at the moment. And then, so let's go in and talk about the framing. So the framing, for the 2 coops, you need 4 12 foot 2x6s and 4 8 foot 2x6s. The 8 footers go on the end down there. You need to cut those to 7 feet, and then you just connect them, screw them together in a square. So you see here, you just screw those in. I used 4-inch screws. You got your base together. Once I got my base together, I decided on a location, set them out here, leveled it off. Then I brought the panels out here, and you just arch them over and you stick them on the inside. And then once you get them in here, you need to secure them to the 2x6. So I used pipe hanger. This is metal pipe hanger. You just cut it in little strips with the tin snips, and you use screws. You screw it in there, and you can see that it is solid. And I used quite a few, looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, at least 6 for each panel. And then here's where the 2 panels connect, right there. You can see it's connected all the way down here. Here's where the next 2 panels connect. Now, in this case, 3 panels is gonna put you a little bit too long. So you can cut 6 inches off of your panel so they don't overlap, or you can overlap them like this. If you live in a place where you get snow, overlapping them like this gives you some extra strength when it comes to support up at the top. I overlapped them on this one, I cut them on the other one. Personally, I like it better the way it was when I cut it. So that's the framing. I use zip ties just to hold these together. They're not really structurally sound. I mean, they're there. The metal clamps on the bottom and the fact that they're arched in here holds them in here. This thing is pretty solid. So there's the framing and the hoops. After you get the hoops secured in there, the cattle panels in there, to get them secured, then you put your end framework on for your doors. Okay? It's as simple as an 8-foot 2x4, getting it up, cutting it at a slight angle, then you use the metal pipe hanger right here to go over the top and screw it down on there. So now it's secured there, and then you screw it in. You screw it in from back here. The only thing you want to make sure is you get a level, put your level on here to make sure that it's vertical. Same thing for that one, make sure it's vertical, screw them in, and then attach them with the pipe hanger to the top of the cattle panel. Okay, you'll want to put on these angle braces here. They're screwed in down there just to support these. Once you get your end framework in, at that point it becomes really sturdy. So the whole thing is not moving, it's just the cattle panel that's bending. So step back and take a look at how it looks. So you got your door framework, your door in the center, and then your supports on the side on the base. You do that to all 4 ends. I just use some cheap hinge hardware and some other 2x4s. These are used, or old 2x4s. And then I use square pieces of wood and then metal brackets just to hold them together. And then a cheap little latch for the door. So it's a turkey coop. It's not meant to keep in or out bears or anything like that. They keep the dogs out. So once you get your bottom frame done, your end frame's done, you got your panels on, you're going to want to attach your chicken wire. So you cut your chicken wire. The cattle panels are 16 feet long. You'll cut your chicken wire to 17 feet, stretch it over the top. And then what I did was I started connecting them at the ends first, and I used J-clips. So this is a J-clip. You can buy them in bags off of Amazon, and then you use that with a J-clamp or J-pliers, J-clip pliers, or J-clip pliers. I will put a link to the clips and the pliers, and then basically, sorry about the camera. Okay, so basically what you do is you put your J-clip in there. You would put it around your wire. Okay, we're not going to do it, but you put it around the cattle panel and the chicken wire, and then you just squeeze it. It gives you a nice little circle, which you can see right there. Where is it? Right there. See, it's around the chicken wire right there, and it holds it nice and good on there. So I secured it all to the sides and then stretched it out and secured it all the way down as we went. We can probably get a better look on the inside. Alright. So, and then where the chicken wire connects, I did that. Connected the chicken wire there. Okay. And then I didn't do a lot in here. I just did on the ends and a few in here. And you can see them all down here on the ends. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. I almost did like about 2 every section to hold those on there. Okay. Now, using these J-clips and this pair of pliers and putting that chicken wire on actually took the most amount of time. It took a long time. So, see this end piece? I clamped it on. right? And then you can just use staples to staple the chicken wire to your wood all along the outside and all along the bottom, okay? Once you get the chicken wire on, the next step is the tarp. In my case, I used an advertisement billboard, a vinyl billboard. It's pretty thick. It's used, and it does have some damage, does have some holes in it. Not the greatest, but I got a 10 by 36, which covers both of these tarps, or both these coops, I'm sorry. So 10 feet, so we have a little bit of a gap at the end where it's not covering, which I originally wanted because I wanted light to go in there. Now that I've got it said and done, I'm kind of second guessing that because this whole entire side is going to be getting weathered with the rain. But it was the cheapest avenue to buy one billboard, cut it in half, and use it for both. So we'll see if I end up regretting that decision or not. If you have the option, just get something to go all the way over, in my opinion. You can, if you were watching the video up there, you'll see me putting these tarps on. Basically, you throw the tarp over and you can fold it up, and I just took a 2x4, screwed in regular screws to the foundation framework of the hoop house, and then where I didn't have the wood, I used these screws with a little flat head on it and screwed it in there. This is tree strapping I got off Amazon. I just screwed it in, ran it over the top, came over to the other side down here, pulled it real tight, and then screwed this in. That is kind of just to hold it so like the wind doesn't, doesn't blow around like when storms come through. So I put 4 sections every couple feet, and you can see how tight that is on there. It's pretty good. So see the 4 straps. Now I also chose to put the advertisement side up. I didn't know if it was UV protected. I don't know if both sides are, the material is. I really have no idea. It doesn't bother me too much. Could bother some people. I got a heating and air advertisement. I really wanted Chick-fil-A. One of the cows that said eat more chicken, but I pretty much just got Sam here. Sam approved chicken coops or turkey coops. You can see the turkeys in there. And the last thing that I did was put the roosts. And we can go, I can show you the roosts. But that's the basics. You got the framework on the bottom, the square framework, the end framework for the doors. You can see here I just screwed the rubber strap in with an eye bolt for the hook on this door. And then for the roost, I just got some natural eucalyptus wood that I had laying around, and I screwed them in here to the end. On the other side, I used rope. See where that turkey's at? I used rope to support it, and then I put a 2x4. Oh, let's go look at this coop and see better. I used pipe strapping on this one, but the principle is the same. So screwed in here with screws, 4-inch screws right there, 2 of them, so that's going to support it there really well. I used a pipe hanger over here, screwed it in there, ran it around the top, and then I put a 2x4. I used pipe hanger here to go around this bar to hold that on there, and then used screws to screw into the 2x4. So that basically keeps it from swaying. So that supports it up and down, and this keeps it from swaying in and out. I wanted to keep nothing on the floor. I wanted it open, so when we have to clean or the turkeys are walking around, because I've got 15 turkeys, there's going to be about 7 in each cage, and they're going to get big, so there's going to be room is going to be of an issue. And something else that you may or may not like is a few turkeys weighing 20 pounds a piece. This is going to be a lot of weight, and what you need to know is that even though this is a pretty strong hoop coop, it will still it's got some give in it, so it's not solid steel. So when they jump up there and they're heavy, it's going to kind of bow the coop a little bit. but in my opinion, these are relatively inexpensive. Lumber being the most expensive cost. Well, not the most expensive, but the most ridiculous cost. And then, man, you guys need some water. So here's what it looks like with 15 turkeys in it. And that's a custom feeder that I made for them, which looks like they need some more food, or at least some adjustment here. Yeah. There we go. Okay. Yep. And all right. So, depending on where you live, I oriented these north and south because just the way the wind blows, and you know, I wanted them to have protection from the sun and stuff like that. But you can also stake these down. You can take T-posts or stakes, run the stakes in, and then secure them to the framework on the end. Or you can just use concrete stakes, pound them down into the ground, and then secure the concrete stakes into the foundation there. That will hold these down. So if you think you're going to get some pretty good hurricane winds and this is going to act like a big kite and like flip over or whatever, you can secure them down with stakes. But it's California, people. I don't think we're going to have tornadoes, or it's pretty dang heavy. This is not, if you're going to use this as a chicken tractor, definitely use less cattle panels, 1 or 2 cattle panels. Definitely use 2x4s on the base, not 2x6s, and just as lightweight material as you can. It's possible to do a chicken tractor, and the great thing about these type of coops is they're very customizable. You can do them at, you know, 6 feet wide. You know, you can change how wide they are to make them smaller. You can make them wider so it's lower if you're not planning on walking into it. You can cut them down, make them really small. It could be a 3x3. You can make them as small as you want or as big as you want. The wife saw this and she wanted me to make a greenhouse. She's like, this would be a great greenhouse. So who knows? But anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. I apologize for not having the whole construction thing on there, but it's very basic. If I can build this thing, anybody can build this thing, trust me. The biggest part that I struggled on was these doors. I mean, look at my cut work here. I just took a Sawzall because it was too wide and just made it fit. But this one worked out really good. It's perfect right there where the latch is. This one I used the door kit, except I couldn't use the whole kit because these hinges, these pre-manufactured hinges with right here, the supports, the other one comes out to here. So the door has to be over 3 feet wide. And this door is not 3 feet wide, so I had to use these on this side. I'll link the door kit in the description. I'm not an Amazon affiliate. I don't get any kickbacks from anything I put in the links or in the description. It's just solely for your benefit. So besides the wood and the cattle panels, I will link everything that I can possibly link to show you what I bought. But what you see is what you get. It's pretty much all there. So before I go, I just wanted to say thanks to the new subscribers. I appreciate the subscriptions, appreciate the support. Let me know if you have one of these coops or you're going to try to build one. If you have any questions or anything like that, feel free to go ahead and hit me up in the comments. I always try to acknowledge every comment and respond. So yeah, once again, thanks everybody. Hope you like the coops, and stay tuned for more updates to see how the turkeys are doing and any upgrades and changes I make for the coops. Thanks. Bye.